come from different places. Like the stuff I'm into may not necessarily be what Mark's into. Not that we disagree, and that's okay, right? I'll be listening to Minus the Bear, and he'll say, "Who are those guys?" And I'm like, "But I haven't taken a deep dive into the heavy blues like he has." So what we play kind of comes together, and it makes this vintage overdrive sound, which is kind of our unique sound.
Hello and welcome to Beyond the Band. Once again, joining me this time is Vintage Overdrive. Tell me a little bit about what we're working on.
Yeah, we're working on an EP right now that'll have 6 songs on it.
Let's get a little bit more specific. Let's start with your guys' song, Ride That Train, because for me, I heard this one and it's very catchy. It's very bluesy, hard rock, and I don't know, if you guys haven't heard that song, listen to it. I'm pretty sure you'll be singing along within seconds. So tell us about that.
It's our most recent song, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's our most recent song.
It was just one of those songs that came spontaneous. It was very easy. It was catchy. I mean, instantly, none of us overplayed. It's not anything that complex, I would say, but we had a lot of fun with it, and we all instantly loved it. And that's the song of anything that we've composed that gets stuck in my head the most.
I think the first time we jammed it through as a complete song, Jim was like, "That's our best song."
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, we pleased Jim, so we got something good there.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah, we pleased Jim.
All the other songs are crap, but this one, he's happy, so.
Mark texted me a riff, and he says, "What do you think about this?" And so I sat down and actually got on Audacity, and I didn't do this in the other song, but I just started sticking pieces together and billing it.
It must be right. It must be magical, because the way we write songs is just ridiculous.
But the lyrics are actually about, I've got some people close to me who, one of them just overcame cancer, and another one's going through a really tough time, and the whole message of that song is, like it says, rain falls, fate calls, come what may. Sometimes you gotta ride that train. It talks about not, you can't have sun if you don't have the shadow. And that's kind of the message of that song, is just, hey, sometimes life deals you a bad hand, but that's how you gain experience, and that's how you grow. So.
Right, and I specifically like that message because of that. And it's one of those things where you're going through life and everything seems so, bad at the time, or like things could get better, but it's like sometimes you got to write it out, and once you get to that point, usually it turns out pretty well.
Yep, you got to ride that train.
But,
you don't have a choice. You got to do it. So.
And Mark said you guys kind of compose songs a little bit uniquely. Tell me how.
I don't know.
Go for it, buddy.
I'm just gonna say, like in other bands, I don't know how it is for anybody else, but in other bands I've been in, it's like just an accomplishment to write a song, to complete a song, be like, oh, we got something that's not
crappy,
not garbage. You know what I mean? That we could play. But with Gabe, it's just, at least when he and I are writing, like I'll send him a riff, and first he'll text and be like, I love this, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. And okay, Gabe says he's a positive thinker. Then he'll send his demo back with his vocals on the memo, and it gives me chills. It sounds so weird, but like it's good, man. And like I was listening to I'll Never Go this morning. I hadn't heard it for a while, and like I just got the chills all over again. So for me, it's cool to be able to contribute to something that where emotionally it feels good to hear it. It's not like, oh yeah, we did it, but it's like, man, I actually like listening to this stuff.
Yeah,
and it's not just
because you want to hear yourself. It's just the message.
Yeah.
And each of the songs has a personal story or something behind it, and
we write about real life.
We're all guys like in our 30s. We've had some experience in life. We've had a lot of ups and downs. So our music, we don't just write bubblegum songs. We write songs that have stories and specific And that helps with the passion behind when you play too, because you're putting your heart out there for people. So
This is insightful for us because we never know what you're saying. So chutzpah.
Shout out to Gabe. He missed rehearsal once. Jim and I tried covering vocal parts. After one song, our voices were just shot. He's like, I don't know how he does this for 2 hours.
That was a rad day.
that's funny.
One thing about Gabe is he never goes halfway. He's all in on every single song. And like Matt said, we were just messing around, screaming at each other. I was gassed after about 2 minutes. That was it. And he's always 100% in, even in practice. He doesn't hold back, ever.
That's what I love about performing with him, actually, because
Thanks, man.
he's all there, so I know I can, it works.
Likewise.
He's all there.
We got a great crew. We've
The band is cool because
gotten
we all
along good.
come from different places. Like, you came from a theater background, is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Mark has this super blues influence that I don't have. Matt's many years trumpet player and just a killer bassist, been in a lot of different bands and traveled
Just
the
a
world.
killer musician all around.
Yeah.
And I've
That's
been
awesome.
in different projects, so it's kind of this weird Venn diagram. That's how I heard you describe it once. That
Hey, patent pending.
Yes.
It's like-
But we all come from different places. Like the stuff I'm into may not necessarily be what Mark's into. Not that we disagree, but and that's okay, right? I'll be listening to Minus the Bear, and he'll say, "Who are those guys?" And I'm like, "But I haven't taken a deep dive into the heavy blues like he has." So what we play kind of comes together, and it makes this vintage overdrive sound, which is kind of our unique sound.
Right on. It's like that. That one point where we all meet is like when it works. I think.
It's a lot of fun.
Great.
We have a great time together.
Yeah. Let's hurry up and end this so we can play.
Right? I know. Well, let's dive into a
few
little
weeks.
bit more of your songs.
Sure.
Some of the ones that you're going to be playing for us.
Sure.
Let's go with "Can't Be Me with You." Tell me a little bit about that song.
Okay. I can't use names, but can't be me with you. It was a riff that these guys worked on. That was really cool, and they sent me the riff, and
Because of you, it stayed.
Yeah, I loved it at the
yeah,
beginning.
you wanted to keep it right from the beginning. When we're in concert, we describe it as the Psycho Hosebeast from Wayne's World, the girl that tries to give him the gun rack, and he goes, "What am I gonna do with the gun rack?" Like there was a girl that I dated that it just wasn't working, and she was trying really hard and she wanted to make it work, and I was faking it and trying to make it work. In fact, there's a line in there that says, what does it say? It says, "You can't. I've tried to fake the thrill to ease your sorrow," and another line that says, "You can't drive love on fumes."
It's really sad because Gabe ended up marrying her. They're still married.
Anyway,
Is that true?
no, it's not. It is not
Gotta
true.
clarify. Make
It's
sure
not
the woman
you,
out there
Kelly.
doesn't think that.
Kelly, it's not you. I promise. It's not you. It's me.
Mystery solved.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, it was just a fun song about a relationship that you couldn't make work, and that
He's a pleaser.
and the one of the lyrics says, "I'll do what it takes to ease the heart that aches," or it says, "I know when I'm gone, I got to be the jerk." But in that case, I just, it made her feel better that I was the jerk, and that was okay, and it was over. So anyway, it's just kind of a fun song.
It's a great song.
That was a long time ago. And it has nothing to do with my wife.
So if you don't mind me asking a personal question, and what made you finally decide, okay, I should probably end it instead of just, living off the fumes there?
Oh, wow, holy cow.
I think she's asking for a personal insight.
So,
Trying to add something there, Katie?
Somebody.
Because Gabe's got a song for it.
yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I'll teach you the lyrics and you can sing it to this guy you're trying
Okay.
to get rid of.
Okay, great.
Anyway, no, it was interesting because it was actually when I met my current wife. It was awesome. Like, I just fell head over heels right off the bat, and the other friend was still around, and I just said, "Hey, I met the girl I'm going to marry, and I'm sorry." was bad. But thanks for making me talk about that.
If it makes you feel any better, I was the same way, and so was Sonia and Steph pretty much. So you're not the only one.
You've been in that situation.
Yes.
The can't be me with you
Yeah,
situation.
it's kind of hard, but relatable song. So
Yeah.
I was just hopelessly single until I met my wife, so
So you didn't have that
I
problem.
don't know what you guys are talking about.
he's like, this advice in the song is not relevant to me.
The expressed views of Gabe Hampton, not necessarily.
Represent Vintage Overdrives.
Let's
Oh,
kind of
boy.
touch on I'll Never Go.
So I'll Never Go. It's also a personal song. I had someone very close to me struggling with depression. And so I really wanted to dive in to kind of understand it. So we loved the music that Mark wrote for that. It's just incredible. And it's got a lot of
Thanks, man.
It's got a lot of feeling, it's got a lot of crescendos, it's got a lot of texture. It's just really, there's a lot of emotion behind it. And it made me think of this person I'm very close to who's struggling with depression. So
Is this the one? I wrote some lyrics first.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't this kind of that moment we were in?
yeah, I think so.
And it was about like, and then I think you carried the theme of never go, but then fit it to this situation, which is much more meaningful, much
Yeah,
more
that's
purposeful.
true. That's what it was. Yeah, it was kind of something we started together. But anyway, I to finish it, I just dove online and I researched how people with depression feel and what it feels like to come out of depression and how you help people who have depression. And that song is just about
I didn't have to Google that.
being there for somebody. Oh, wow.
He's so happy, he didn't even understand. He had to Google, what does depression feel like?
Well, you never know. At least he's trying to understand it, though. He's diving
Yes.
into it.
So
Doing his
anyway,
research.
Are we picking sides? We're
Sympathy
picking
for
sides.
depression.
so that's probably the song. I would say that's the song we feel the most passionate about when we play.
That's a song that, yeah, I think I do.
That it's again, it's you're telling a story. You're not just making up a song that you
All our-
hope people like. It's you know. It's
All our
personal.
songs are about something.
Yeah.
There's probably like a couple of the more bluesy songs where they're maybe just a little bit more bluesy, just kind of not as serious.
Yeah,
as
it's
this,
kind of fun, a little more
lighthearted.
lighthearted.
Some throwbacks to some old blues guys, but It's a-
Voodoo.
I don't need your
Yeah, even
voodoo.
Reasons a little, but
It's
yeah.
a song called Reasons that is going to be on our EP also.
It's also on your website as well.
Is it?
Yes.
That's
Oh,
just
okay.
a
The
demo,
scratch
I think.
demo, yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. The scratch
It's a little
demo.
embarrassing that's out there.
I like
We
it.
got some.
Did you like that
thank
song?
Yes.
Thanks, Kite.
Oh, dang.
Appreciate
We'll
that.
warm up on that one.
Yeah, Reasons gets everyone dancing. I played it for my 3-year-old and she started shaking her bum. All our other songs, she's just like, I want to watch Paw Patrol. But that song came on, she's wiggling her butt. I was like, all right, it's a good song.
See, and I really like the guitar in that song. That was very catchy.
Thanks.
He's awesome.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
So, Gabe, do you mind if I retract back kind of to when you were talking about you did research on depression a little bit for that song? Can you tell me something new or unique that you learned about people who have depression from doing research?
You know, one of the things it talked about was that people who are severely depressed don't see color in life. Everything's really bleak. Everything's gray. There's not a lot of. It's not that you're super sad. It's just that there's just not really emotion. You're just kind of going through the motions. You're numb. In fact, we tried to work in something in there about being numb, but it didn't work out. But so.
It's actually my favorite lyric when you sing that at the end. The colors will return again, and
Yeah,
hearts that hurt will burn again.
yeah,
That's my personal favorite
thanks,
moment
man.
there. That song.
Yeah, it's just the song's the first part's about depression, but really it's the song's about coming out of depression and helping people who might be experiencing that. The interesting thing is when we kind of put it. Mark and I one night when we had it done, he just played guitar and I just sang it and we put it on Facebook, and so many people said, "Oh, that song's about addiction and the struggle that I'm having with drugs," or "Oh, that song's about this." So that's because really could be about overcoming anything, but to me personally it was about seeing someone I really cared about just in the depths.
Well, it's got like 20 views. That's cool. And then it was like, dude, it's got like 500 views. And it was like, dude, it's like 1,100 views. Like, oh my goodness.
That one strikes a chord with people. It really does. I had a good friend who said she works for a place that helps people with eating disorders.
Sounds like
And she's like, I shared that song and people, it really helped them and it helps them. So anyway, it could be whatever you want it to be, I guess, but it was written about depression.
With music, that's one thing that I thoroughly enjoy is from all of the artists that I've personally been able to interview is they'll have a song whether it's about depression, mental illness, what have you, and everyone has their own meaning to it until the artist comes out and says, well, this is what I put with it. But all the time they'll say, but it could also apply to this, this, and this. And I think that's the beauty in music is you can have the song that hits everybody's, heartstring, and they relate to it in different ways. And I think it's fantastic.
It's definitely, it's poetry,
There's just a power behind music that just, it doesn't matter race, religion, anything. It just brings people together, and it just touches hearts and touches lives.
Even, it breaks down barriers, even language barriers. I mean, it's...
That's always fascinated me about music. I don't want to be too ethereal here, but it's like some people will approach it like a math problem. You play with the player, and you play a 5/4 time. You can see the basses counting, and even and they're thinking they're counting it every second, and it's very robotic, more like a Bach, where it's. But then there's other people that it's all about this feeling and the color, and I just want to feel it. And then there's some people that are somewhere in between these two. And then the lyrical side, which is lower in my brain, but total different interpretations. I hear one song and I take something out of it, and somebody's like, no, I didn't get that at all. And that's what's really cool about it. And any of it works, If you're hearing something dark, okay. If you're hearing something light, that's okay too. If it speaks to you in that way and it strikes that emotion, that to me is the purpose of music.
Love that.
And maybe it's the theater guy in me, but I want someone who listens to Vintage Overdrive to feel every emotion. I want them to laugh at reasons because there's some funny lines in there. I want them to, I want them to. Sometimes you got to feel pain to heal first.
Right.
So with songs like Liesl's Love, it's a song about, again, someone who was addicted, who had an addiction, and then confessed to the person they loved and they left him. But the whole song, the first part of the song, they're talking about, hey, they'd never leave me. I think, and they're getting up the courage, and then they do it, and the person leaves. And the last verse is just like, there's a line that says, my heart will never forgive my mind. Because it got to the point where it's just like, I can do it. And then, so anyway, I hope that everybody feels every emotion when they listen to Vintage Overdrive.
In that one particular, there's someone who has been to a few shows maybe, who, like, that's their song,
Yeah, because it strikes a chord with her. She likes it. So.
Well, one thing that I've gathered from kind of little pieces that all of you had said is your music is very built on emotion, whether it be the instruments, the lyrics, but I think that's a good foundation for music.
Yeah. You want to tell a story,
Right.
a story people can relate to. So.
Yeah, definitely one thing I like about our music is that maybe not everything in every song, but I can relate to most of it. I felt these emotions of loss, of pain, of suffering, of happiness, dump that girl and I'm free, it's just whatever it may be. But, I can relate to it more than, other bands I've been in where it's just, you're kind of just going through the motions of, I don't know what he's singing about. Okay, this is great, but I can just really relate more in, learning the songs so inside and out, practicing them so much, playing them so much. You really build that deep connection with them. And I've just never really had that with other groups that I've been in, so.
So Matt, would you say that Gabe's lyrics help with that, or would you say it's a combination of the members that kind of help you?
It's more the music, because, I started really getting into the songs without even knowing what Gabe was saying. I can hear him through our PA speaker, and it's like,
What we
let's
practice,
turn this
especially.
around. Okay, oh, you're singing this line, and then he shared all the lyrics with us, and it's like, oh, okay, now I really get what the song is about, and just to build that even deeper connection.
So I feel like amazingly blessed or fortunate to be able to play with these three, because really, they're all superb. And I feel like I'm just lucky to be here in tune, like, just amazing. Like, you'll see, and then you'll wonder why I'm here.
What?
But I love when we brought Matt on, because Matt wasn't the first bass player. He wasn't the second bass player. Might have been the third or the fourth, I don't know. But when he came, it was like he was a fan of the music, like just how he said, and that was awesome, because he's probably like 100% the best, just a wonderful musician. But then the fact that he was like a fan and he loved the music, that was
impressed me.
rad.
You were like, I love this song. I love this song.
Yeah.
But
I
love this
even
stuff.
Even our covers, he was stoked about.
It
So.
was like this was definitely magical.
Plus mad chops. So
Yeah.
For real, both of you.
Matt, what is one of your favorite songs to play?
That we play? Original or a cover?
That's a good
Original.
question.
Oh. That's hard to say. Probably I'll Never Go.
Dang.
I mean, that one really speaks to me personally as someone who's suffered with depression. And like, Gabe, you had to learn what it's like to go through that, how to help out someone. And people are like, well, how do you fix it? There were billboards a while ago. It's like, you wouldn't just say, snap out of it, it's just diabetes or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a legitimate illness. And the things that I wanted most, I didn't need a cure, I didn't need a quick fix. I just needed a good friend to be there. If I didn't want to go out and do something, or if I just needed to be away, I knew that they would still be there the next day. And so just having that kind of connection with that song just really means a lot to me. And musically, it's just beautiful, and I love playing it. So,
Thanks.
So if people want to find your music and when you drop your EP and stuff, where can they find that at?
So vintageoverdriveband.com. Well, they'll find it everywhere. It'll be distributed everywhere. So anywhere you can buy music digitally, you can find it. So
iTunes, Amazon.
iTunes, Amazon, Spotify,
Spotify.
Google Play, and everywhere
Yeah.
else. All these others that I've never heard of.